This election is more than just your basic ABCs, anybody but Clinton. It's more than that this go around. So no, we're not going to chill. In fact, it's time to drill, baby, drill down and hold these folks accountable. Thank you.
We're going to give them hell. I just want to thank Sarah and Todd. Just really amazing people. Thank you, Darren. Thank you.
Well, Britt Hume was our Fox News senior political analyst. So that was fun. What were your thoughts?
Well, Megan, understand that endorsements are not what they once were in the days when a governor of a state who had a big political machine or a powerful senator who had an organization could swing a state in a primary or even in a general election sometimes behind a particular candidate. It doesn't work that way anymore.
But were those endorsements rhymes? I mean, when you rhyme, it adds a special pizzazz to it.
Well, I would say this about the Palin endorsement of Donald Trump. The person that really affects more than Donald Trump, it seems to me, is Ted Cruz.
Right.
Because Cruz is running as the consistent conservative, and Sarah Palin has a reputation for being a true blue conservative. And so to the extent that she affects this race, the doubts that have been raised about Donald Trump have been about whether he is a conservative. And that's a part of what Cruz is saying about him. And now comes Sarah Palin, who I think retains the affections and loyalties of a certain number of American conservatives to vouch for him, vouch for Trump. That hurts Cruz. It hurts Cruz particularly in Iowa. Not enormously. Endorsements don't matter that much anymore, but at the margins, it makes a difference.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, and of course that's why she was unleashed today, because Trump has been taking a hit, even now with talk radio over the weekend, Levin and Limbaugh, because he's going after Cruz so hard. And, you know, Levin was out there saying, look, Cruz is a true conservative in Levin's mind, and is finally suggesting Trump is not and telling him to back off. Here's a sampling of that.
This is why I'm sick and tired of stupid talk. This is why I'm sick and tired of stupid issues. This birth nonsense has gone on long enough for most of us. If there are websites that want to keep entertaining it, entertain it. If there are nutjob lawyers and professors who want to bring the lawsuits, I beg you, bring the lawsuits. But the rest of us don't have to be dragged into stupidity.
He went on from there, and so did Rush Limbaugh. So he needed Palin. Trump did today.
No, I agree with that, and you know, Cruz was gained on him in Iowa, and of course, to the point where, you know, in some of the polls at least, Cruz is ahead. I think the average has him about tied. So this is a threat to Trump, Megan, because if he loses in Iowa, it sort of pierces this aura of invincibility that he's had about him, and the idea that he is a winner, and we're all, and how much he's going to win, and we're going to win as Americans when he's president, and all the rest of it. So there's some real threat to him here, and Cruz was mounting it, and this counteracts it to some extent, although, in my view, probably not very much.
The other question I have for you, by the way, we said Buckeye State, should have said Hawkeye, forgive me. The other question I have for you is whether you think Sarah Palin yields the influence she had even back in 2012 when she endorsed Ted Cruz. I know that her endorsement really mattered in his Texas Senate run, and he's acknowledged that even today. But do you think she's as influential a figure now in 2016?
No, I don't, simply because of the passage of time and the fact that she did not continue to hold public office and was to some extent out of the public's view. You know, she was on Fox News and a lot, but that's faded as well. So it doesn't matter. You know, her influence isn't as great as it once was, but it doesn't hurt. And look, what the whole effect of all of this is to blow up the Cruz game plan, which was to slipstream in Trump's wake, suck up to him to some extent, which he certainly did, and hope that he could inherit Trump's support. He obviously believed that Trump would fade away, and he would, having not criticized Trump, and he would be the one best positioned to inherit his support. Well, this whole tong war going out between them out in Iowa has ended that. Mm-hmm. So Cruz has taken some real incoming recently, and I think his game plan for how to win this is wounded. And of course, if he doesn't win Iowa, He's not strong in New Hampshire.
Well, unlike Trump, who's way ahead of the rest of the pack. So
Trump appears to be way ahead.
Cruz has clearly taken off the gloves, and so has Trump. I mean, these two, the bromance is officially over, and Cruz is going after Trump and his conservatism today, basically laughing at Trump's claim that he has more enthusiasm than Ronald Reagan ever had. He's doing it better than Reagan ever did, and here was part of Cruz's response to that.
Donald did an interview where he described that he thinks he's bigger than Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan did not spend the first 60 years of his life supporting Democratic politicians. Reagan was a voice of consistency. And I'm pretty sure that Ronald Reagan didn't write checks and support Democratic politicians like Andrew Cuomo, like Anthony Weiner, like Hillary Clinton. Mr. Trump enthusiastically supported President Obama's stimulus plan and said the only problem was it should have been bigger.
Going after him on stimulus, on TARP, the bank bailout, and so on. Your thoughts?
Well, I would just say that as a lot of these establishment party leaders look at this, they are hoping against hope that what will happen is that these two guys will beat each other up so badly that neither of them wins. Because, as you know, neither of them Cruz is certainly every bit as unpopular as Trump says, and they're worried that neither of them could be elected.
Can I just ask you quickly before I let you go, Britt? The Iowa governor came out today and said, "Don't vote for Cruz, whatever you do." Scale of 1 to 10, how important is that?
Well, it's important to the people in Iowa who care about that ethanol subsidy, and Cruz, to his great credit, in my opinion, has resisted that and wants to phase it out. And that's what Terry Branstad, the Republican governor of Iowa, was complaining about. I think that Cruz has probably taken whatever hit he's going to take on that, and this probably won't make that much difference.
Britt, it's always great to see you.
Thanks, Megan.
Pastel Britt is with us in the winter months. We miss him when the spring comes. Puts his suit back on.